So imagine for a second that the US government decides to launch a massive national project. I'm talking something with the same urgency, the same scale as the race to build the atomic bomb or the mission to land on the moon. But this time, the goal is to master artificial intelligence. Well, that's not a thought experiment. It's actually happening right now. And it could completely change how we innovate, how we discover, and maybe even how we see our own place in the universe. And that right there is a pretty heavy statement. Hearing that comparison, it frames this whole thing not as just another government program, but as a defining moment in history. It's an all-in national effort to get our arms around AI and basically reshape the future of science and technology. So, this huge effort, which was kicked off with a presidential executive order, actually has a name. It's called the Genesis Mission. And make no mistake, this is designed to be America's big answer to the AI revolution.
Okay, so what is it really? Well, the core idea is to build one gigantic interconnected system. Think about it, linking the nation's absolute most powerful supercomputers, all of its huge scientific data sets, and the most advanced AI models, all into a single platform for discovery. They're basically trying to build an AI-powered brain for American science.
And just look at who's involved. The scale of this collaboration is kind of staggering. This is not just a government thing. It's a massive team-up between the public and private sectors. You've got the institutional might of the Department of Energy and its 17 national labs working hand in hand with, well, basically every major player in the AI arms race.
So what is this dream team actually trying to do? I mean, it's not just about building a bigger, faster computer. The Genesis mission is aimed squarely at some of the biggest challenges we face, and they've broken it down into 3 core goals.
All right, first up, energy dominance. We're talking about using AI to run millions of simulations to finally crack the code on nuclear fusion, or maybe to design a smarter, more resilient power grid for the entire country. Then there's advancing pure science. Imagine an AI that can predict new protein structures to create life-saving medicines overnight, or discover new materials with properties we can't even dream of today. And finally, number 3 is national security. Using AI to design the next generation of defense systems and even predict supply chain problems before they ever happen.
And they've put a very specific number on this ambition. The goal isn't just to make things a little better. It's to literally double the output and the impact of all American science in just 10 years. I mean, that is a true moonshot.
So you have this grand, incredibly optimistic vision for mastering the universe with technology. But the very scale of that ambition, the creation of such a powerful engine for discovery, it forces us to stop and ask a totally different set of questions. Not about what we can build, but about who we are. And that brings us to a really critical counter-narrative. Some thinkers are out there urging us to look at AI not just as a powerful new tool, but to look at it through the lens of theology, of human nature, and to ask a fundamental question. Are we building an instrument, or are we building an idol? Now, from this perspective, there are 2 huge mistakes we could make here. The first trap is to start worshiping AI, to treat it like it's all-knowing, like it can't be wrong, a sort of modern-day golden calf. But the second trap is the complete opposite, to demonize it, to see the technology itself as being fundamentally evil, instead of seeing it as a potentially good gift that, like any powerful tool, can be used for terrible things. At the very heart of this whole argument is a reminder about what makes humans different. The idea is that no matter how smart or capable an AI gets, it will never be made in the image of God. It just lacks that unique moral and spiritual status that, from this point of view, is reserved for humanity and humanity alone. And this leads us to a really crucial point. If AI is just a tool, then its impact depends entirely on the person holding it. So what happens when the user is a flawed, imperfect humanity? Well then, the technology becomes a mirror. So critics are highlighting 3 really profound risks to society. First, the trivialization of our own minds. The worry that by outsourcing all our thinking, we just let our own reasoning and communication skills wither away. Second, massive economic disruption as jobs get displaced. And third, the frankly terrifying potential for AI to become the ultimate tool for surveillance and control. And this right here is the whole point. The fear isn't that AI itself is evil. The fear is that we are, that human nature has a dark side.
and that the things we create will inevitably just amplify our own worst tendencies, our greed, our biases, and our desire for control. So we're left with these two incredibly powerful and kind of competing visions. On the one hand, you've got the techno-optimism of the Genesis mission, which is aiming to solve our greatest problems. And on the other, you've got this deep, profound caution that sees AI as a fundamental test of our own character. And this, really, is the central conflict of the AI age. Is this new technology a tool for mastering the external world, for solving energy and science and security, or is it a mirror, forcing us to confront our own internal nature? The answer, of course, is that it's probably both. Ultimately, the most important question here isn't about how powerful our machines are. It's about the wisdom of their creators. This isn't just a technological challenge. It is a moral one. And that leaves us with a final, really provocative thought. How will we choose to wield the incredible power that we are now creating?